What's up, everybody? This is Rocco the Comic, and you're listening to the BOH Podcast, the first ever episode. Who knows? Maybe the last ever episode, depending if you guys don't like it, depending if I think, forget about it. Basically, guys, this podcast is a podcast about anything. That's why I called it the BOH Podcast, because I have no idea. First off, if I stop talking for a few seconds, you hear that? Silence. There's nothing. My wife's working. The kids are in school. I had way too much time alone. So I figured, let me do what about 10 million other people did during this pandemic, and let me start a podcast. I got things I got to say. Normally what everyone sees from me is, 60 seconds of refined stuff. So I figured, hey, you know what? Let me talk for a little bit on a microphone. Just keep going. See what happens. Maybe I'll mess up. Maybe something good will happen out of it. So here we are. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys stick around. We'll get better at this if we keep going. Just bear with me. Right now I got a tissue as a pop filter over my microphone. So that's how good we're doing right now. Just got over Thanksgiving. Hope everyone's Thanksgiving was nice. I hope you guys had other food besides turkey to eat. Because let's face it, turkey's terrible. Listen, the Pilgrims and the Indians, I don't even know if they really ate turkey. I'm not going to Google that right now. Let's trust that turkey was there. We've come a long way since plain turkey. So let's forget about turkey and let's adopt something else. Thanksgiving lasagna. All right, let's do that. No more turkey. We carve the lasagna. Everyone leaves happy. You don't have to, pretend to argue about who wants to take over, who wants to take home the extra turkey, because no one really wants to take it. Basically, what we're doing is we're putting it in Tupperware and throwing it out the next day. That's what's happening. Thanksgiving, My favorite part about Thanksgiving is that we're all miserable bastards 364 days a year, but on Thanksgiving, we pretend we're thankful for something. We're not thankful for anything, guys. Let's be real. All right, Thanksgiving is just a holiday. We get off, and that's it. We watch the parade. We secretly hope that a balloon pops, and that's it. And we watch football, which I guess was terrible this year. I honestly, guys, listen, I'm a Jets fan, so football's been slowly losing interest for me. I really don't watch football that much anymore because the Jets are just horrible. They have no reason to be excited, so you lose interest. I don't play fantasy football anymore because I just kept on throwing money into a pot for other people to win. So, the only sport I really watch is soccer. Listen, I know things. I can pretend to know things. I can make you think I know everything. But the one thing you could trust my opinions on is soccer or football if you want to be, very bougie about it. So, on this podcast, sometimes we'll talk sports. Sometimes we'll talk movies. We'll talk about stuff that I just see. We'll talk about anything. So just hang out with me. Let's talk. Let's see what happens. We got Christmas coming up. My wallet has been crying because my wife starts Christmas shopping after Christmas. So basically, she's done already. This woman's had presents wrapped since August. Who does that? Why are you wrapping presents in August? The air conditioning is on. You got time. I don't even know what we got people. I'm as surprised as anybody on Christmas. Someone will come to me oh my God, Rocco, thank you for that, blah. And I'll be like, great. I just pay for this stuff, guys. I just pay for the stuff. I'm the silent partner who never has any say or vision into the business. I just, fund it. That's basically what it is. And with Christmas coming up, I just want to make something known. It is okay to give someone a gift card for Christmas. I will repeat that. It is okay to give someone a gift card for Christmas. Why? Because my entire life, people get me clothes because they think they want. Listen, everyone just give me Jets stuff because I like the Jets. They're like, what do you got, Rocco? Just a Jets T-shirt. All right, great. You always get me the wrong size, and then I don't know where the hell you bought this from, and I'm too nice of a guy to ask you for the receipt. Listen, if I'm the type of guy that the waiter comes, brings me the wrong order, I'm eating it. I'm not returning it. I'm not being difficult. So when you give me a size large, like seriously guys, a size large, I'm just going to smile and accept it. And then it's going to go in my closet in the skinny section. Yes, I have a skinny section. It's a bunch of clothes that will not fit me unless I magically lose all my weight. And that's dedicated in a corner of my closet. And that's it. It's there. You know, if one day I lose weight, or if one day I get terminally ill and then lose all the weight, I'll finally fit into those clothes. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for that day. But yeah, give people gift cards. Let us choose what we want. Don't start getting fancy and buying stuff. Listen, everyone has too much junk. You do not need all the stuff we have. Listen, guys, when my mother passed away from COVID, right, in 2020, I realized that none of the stuff we have matters. So stop buying junk. Because we had to empty out my mother's apartment, and we were just throwing stuff out because who needs all this stuff? It doesn't get passed down. Not everything can get passed down. Not everybody wants your stuff. So don't buy people junk. Give them a gift card. Give them a gift card. Who cares if I want a gift card to Best Buy? Listen, when I put that $20 gift card that you gave me towards my $1,000 computer that I want to buy, you participated in that. Thank you. Just give me the gift card. Holidays, you know, they're ridiculous now though, but everyone gets bougie with what they want to get, and people get picky. You know, it's just a holiday, guys. You know, but you know, holidays revolve around giving, and apparently everyone wants to give me Jet stuff. But speaking of sports, baseball, I have no idea about. Listen, guys, I used to be into baseball. I was. I played fantasy baseball, and that's when I was into it. But then slowly, like, guys, who has 4 hours to kill to watch a baseball game? Seriously, like, I am impressed by people who watch, like, the Mets all season, the Yankees all season. Like, how do you have that stamina? Like, I can't sit there and just watch 4 hours of baseball. It's just way too long, way too slow. Like, listen, if anything interesting happens, I'll watch it on ESPN in the highlights. They already, they make it smaller for you. They compact it into 60 seconds of highlights. So you can save the other 3 hours of your day. It's just unbelievable. I don't get how, I don't know how people do it. Like, even my son's T-ball games and rookie ball games, they're way too long. Like, how do you, it's just, wow. It's like murder. Like, how do you stay that long at things? It's ridiculous. I coach my son's soccer team. That's always fun. I have to, like, pretend that I don't have a temper for the entire time. That's fun. Pretending that you don't want to yell at someone. Listen, I yell at my kid the most, and you have people out there that are like, they should have fun. You shouldn't be yelling. Like, listen, my father threatened to kill a referee once at my high school game. You don't know the intensity that Italians took at sports. That's why half our parents were never allowed to be there. So when you see me being calm and laughing, bro, give me an Oscar, because the intensity that I'm hiding, you're only seeing like 10% of that. So, yeah, I'm competitive when it comes to coaching the team, and I care way too much. But youth sports is fun. If you can coach, I think you should coach, because what we find is bro, nobody wants to do shit. Man, nobody wants to do shit. Everyone just wants things done for them, and nobody wants to help. You see that all the time. If you need volunteers for anything, like, listen, I'm telling you right now, go on Facebook. Pretend you need volunteers for something. The thing doesn't even need to exist. Just pretend you need volunteers. And volunteers meaning that people have to leave their house for it. Let me know how many people you get to volunteer that aren't like your immediate family. It's crazy. Nobody wants to do anything anymore. That's why, like, in certain areas, youth sports is just going down to shit because you can't find anyone who wants to volunteer. You know, but everyone wants their kids to be the next Messi, Ronaldo, stuff like that. How's that going to happen when you got no volunteers? I mean, Messi, what was it, yesterday? This week just won his 7th Ballon d'Or. You cannot tell me this guy still cares that he won that. I mean, I watched a little bit of like his reception speech and stuff like that. It means nothing. He can say whatever he wants and it means everything to him, but it doesn't. You saw it in his face. It was just, listen, it's number 7. All right, maybe number 1 and 2 were exciting, but number 7 is like, all right, come on. All right, thank you. You guys gave it to me. Like, seriously? You couldn't give it to Lewandowski, who just was phenomenal last season. You had to give it to him again. Number 7. It's unbelievable. The sports stuff. We just give awards to everyone. Just keep giving the awards to the same people. Just, switch it up a little bit. Give it to someone else. Even if, listen, I'm telling you this. Even if Messi deserved the Ballon d'Or, I'm probably fucking it up. Guys, just leave it alone. The way I'm saying it. Even if he deserved it, I would say just give it to someone else anyway. Not because I'm one of these participation trophies for everyone. It's just the excitement when someone new gets it. Like when the Patriots keep on winning the Super Bowl, you get excited when someone else wins it because it makes it interesting again. This nonsense is the same person's going to win it all the time. Like, just get out of here. Forget about it. Just give it to someone else. Make it more exciting. It's just, it's fun. It's fun, this life. Got everything going on. Britney Spears. I had a mad crush on Britney Spears when I was younger. That was my first, I remember the first time I saw it. I was in Seth Low Junior High School in Brooklyn. We were sitting in I think we had like a sub or something. And we were sitting in the band room. And they were just playing whatever channel. It was not MTV because at that point MTV had already stopped showing videos. So it was like one of those channels that only show like music choice type stuff. And then Hit Me Baby One More Time was on there. And I fell in love. That lady, I was in love. And I was in love like the Kelly Kapowski love again. I didn't feel that love since Kelly Kapowski. Britney Spears brought that back. So that was it. I was all in on Britney Spears. I dreamt of being in a boy band, but there was never really a fat guy in the boy bands. Until, and I doubt anyone ever remembers this, but that MTV show Together, where they had a fat guy in it, Chris Farley's brother Kevin. So shout out to Together for showing that you could have a fat guy in a boy band. Yeah, so I wanted to be in a boy band because I felt that was my in to get Britney Spears. Never happened, obviously, and now she's in the news again because she got out of that conservatorship or whatever the hell that is. I mean, listen, when you look at this thing, the conservatorship, like the details of it is basically you can't control anything yourself. Someone else has to tell you what to do the entire time. That's growing up Italian, basically. We don't have our own minds. We get, even until we're 30-something years old, our parents still tell us what to do. Tell us what to think. Tell us what's right, what's wrong. Criticize everything we do. So basically, Britney Spears Britney Spears fought to get out of the life that we live as Italian kids. People were holding up signs, free Britney. You don't see people holding up signs, free Pasquale. Pasquale wants to, go be a baseball player, but his father said no, he has to go into construction. Listen, I remember, growing up, it was fascinating. Growing up as an Italian kid, because, there was these little things. Listen, when I grew up in Bensonhurst, it was mostly Italian. So, majority of my class was full of Italian kids. And I remember this one time I saw a friend from my class, right? And I think their grandmother picked them up, and their grandmother spoke English. And I went home, and I went to my mother, and I said, Ma. And I forgot what friend it was. So let's just say Steve. It's probably not Steve, but let's just say Steve. I said, Ma, Steve's grandma speaks English. How'd they do that? Where'd they get a grandmother that's speaking English? I thought this entire time that grandparents only spoke whatever language the family came from. Because, there were some Russians in my neighborhood, and those grandparents didn't speak English either. So when I saw an old lady speaking English, it was like I saw a celebrity. I was shocked. I just froze and watched this lady speak English, and I was like, wow. That is ridiculously crazy. Like, that's how much of a bubble in Bensonhurst we were in. So these days when you see people with these these narrow mentalities, it's because we grew up in bubbles in these neighborhoods. And then when the bubble popped and other people started coming in, you get shocked for a little bit, I remember during lunch, let's talk about lunch. I remember that I had basically the same lunch every day. Ham, salami, and provolone on a roll, right? And then I had a high C, and then a palio string cheese. That was my lunch every day going to elementary school. I remember seeing this kid bring a hot dog. And I was like, bro, you could bring a hot dog to school? I went home and I asked my nonna, and I was like, Nonna, tomorrow, I want a hot dog for lunch. And that took 20 minutes to explain the logistics of it. How I had to remember how that kid brought the lunch, and I had to tell him how. I was like, listen, you boil it in the morning, wrap it in tin foil, and then I take it to school. And then I had a hot dog, and I was so proud eating that stupid hot dog. Imagine who the hell is proud eating a hot dog at lunch? My stupid ass was. I'm sitting there eating a hot dog. And everyone look at me. I'm eating a hot dog right now. Ham, salami, and cheese. What? Nah, hot dogs, bro. I'm one of you guys. But school, I was a terrible student in school. Seriously, guys. One time, they actually thought I got kidnapped in school. And they were about to call the police and stuff like that. And it's stupid of what happened. Is my cousins from Italy were here. And then when we were going in from recess, I saw my mother and my cousins walking by. So I ran over to them to say hello. And then my mother was like, do you want to just leave early today since your cousins are here? I'll go to the office and then sign you out. I was like, all right, cool. So when I ran back into the school, I just ran to my classroom. And my class actually had went to the bathroom and stuff like that. So when they tried to find me, I was in the classroom. My class was in the bathroom. No one knew where I was. They thought my dad took me or something. And my mom's like, no, my husband's home. So they thought I was kidnapped for about 5 minutes. They want to call the cops. And then I got in trouble for it. My parents yelled at me for going back to the classroom. You're the ones who caused this whole confusion by calling me over while I was going into recess. My mother was the strict one when it came to school. My father, he would let me stay home at the drop of a dime. Like if I just felt like staying home, or if there was a Champions League soccer game gonna be on like at 2:30, he would like, no, no, stay home. No problem. Tell your mother you threw up, and you stay home. And then I'd spend the rest of the day hiding from my nonna who lived in the basement, who would sometimes come upstairs to obviously bring the laundry. But my mother was strict when it came to school. She got me a tutor once. That was terrible. Uh, God bless anyone who can be a tutor. God bless anyone who could be a teacher. I don't have the patience for it. I worked in an after-school program once, and I don't have patience to teach kids stuff like that. Like the sports stuff I could do. I can't do teaching kids math. I mean, I'm terrible at math myself. Like, listen, I'm so bad with math that when I go to the store, my wife has to like give me exact change. And it's not even that. Like when I go get a haircut, like listen, if anyone's ever seen My Blue Heaven, and one of the things Vinny says, it's not tipping I believe in, it's over tipping. And that's where I was raised. My father was an over tipper because my father, was a barber, so his entire thing was made on tips. So he overtipped, and because he overtipped, I overtip. I've always been an over tipper. My wife is a mild tipper, and she hates that I'm over tipper, and I'm terrible with math too. So when I go get a haircut, for example, she gives me exact change. She doesn't make sure I don't have any extra money because, listen, if you send me into the barber shop with $200 and my haircut's 70 or something like that, let's just say I'm saying 70 because it's not just me getting a haircut. I got two boys, they get haircuts too. I'm giving the whole wad to the barber because I feel pressured and I just over tip. And I'm fine with it. I don't mind over tip people. You do a good job, you deserve every tip you get. But yeah, I'm an over tipper. And you could thank my father for that and his wonderful Italian accent that nobody ever understood. You knew your parents had, well, my mom didn't really have an accent. My father, bad. He had a bad accent. His accent was so bad, I used to have to translate his English to English for people. Like, the face that people made when they came to my house for the first time and met my dad, and then he would say something to them, the look of confusion that came across their face was classic. Classic, because they had no idea what this guy was talking about. They had no idea what this guy was saying. And he said it, and he would laugh and all that stuff. But he was smiling, so they smiled back. While we're talking about Italian accents, I heard about this movie House of Gucci, right? And I had no idea what it was about. I assumed it was about Gucci, but you know how sometimes like they'll name a movie something and it's about something else. So before I started recording this, I went to go look at the trailer of it. And within the first 10 seconds, I thought it was about the Soviet Union. I'm not joking. I thought it was a movie about the Soviet Union. Because who the hell, like Lady Gaga, you say you're Italian. What the hell accent were you throwing out there? I seriously thought this movie was about the Soviet Union. I had to go look up the Wikipedia to see what this House of Gucci was about. And in the whole movie, no one has like a legitimate, like I didn't watch the movie, I'm not going to watch it now, because that whole accent thing would annoy me the entire time. But the whole trailer, I didn't hear one real Italian accent. I just heard a bunch of Russian accents mixed in with Spanish ones. The same thing happened, what was that movie? The Killing of Johnny Versace. I forgot what network did that. But they just got a bunch of Puerto Ricans and Spanish people to play Italians. Like they had Ricky Martin playing an Italian guy. I forgot what that other girl's name. I want to say Penelope Cruz. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Playing an Italian lady. And they all like didn't even bother to switch to Italian accents. They just kept the Spanish accent and tried to play it off as Italian. like, listen, guys, like maybe people in Ohio, don't know that's authentic, but I know. And listen, there's 100 Italian people out there that want to be actors. You couldn't get one of them to be in your movie, so at least it sounded right. Like, we got we get mad when like the who voices cartoons and stuff like that. Bro, get some Italians in your movies. If the movie is about someone Italian, get some Italians. We got plenty of us. We're still around. You might have to go look at Staten Island and New Jersey. You can't find them in Brooklyn really anymore, but we're there. You could put us in a movie. So, here's the thing. If you want to be in a movie, go do some auditions because we need Italians out there. We need more Italians in these movies because they're just putting people who have no idea what an Italian really sounds like out there. On that note, I don't want to keep these podcasts way too long. I know we have the attention spans of goldfish. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. I think I'm going to keep it only audio for now. I mean, who the hell really wants to stare at my face? But for now, we keep it like this. Like I said, this podcast is going to be about anything. It's not just going to be stories about growing up. It'll be story about growing up. It doesn't have to be about being Italian. We'll talk sports. We'll talk everything. We'll have some interviews if people want to come on here with me. We'll figure out how to do that. I figure, let's just kill some time. We got things to do. We got some spare time out there. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all your support. You have a great day. And make sure to over tip. See you later, alligator.